What's up, you beautiful people? Welcome back to the pod. So today I'm going to rank the best and worst businesses if you are trying to grow to your first $1 million. I have a lot of experience actually with most of these businesses on this list, so I feel relatively confident in my ability to guide you away from the turds and maybe towards some of the gems. So let's dive in. First one on the list is HVAC and plumbing companies. Okay, so in recent years, it's been really popular. A lot of gurus out there talking about how you should buy businesses. And one of those types of businesses they recommend that you buy are boring businesses like an HVAC or a plumbing company, because they see how there's all these boomers that have these businesses and they're starting to retire. And so who's going to take over these businesses? Nobody is stepping in to get them. So there's a good opportunity for you to go. And the idea is that like these are easy businesses because they're boring. Here's the truth. In my experience with HVAC and plumbing, this is like, I would say C tier, bordering on D tier, because yeah, there's a demand for it. They're boring businesses, and I'm looking out this window right now at 100 different buildings. Each one of those has plumbing issues. Each one of those has HVAC issues. So it has a lot of demand. But the problem with it is, in that business, what most people don't realize is your competitive advantage isn't actually the product that you offer, but your ability to hire, train, and retain great HVAC technicians, great plumbers. And I'm telling you from firsthand experience, it's like the hardest thing to do. Not the hardest, but one of the hardest things to do in business. If you can crack that nut and you can create a system where you have a strong pipeline of HVAC engineers or plumbers or electricians or whatever that like the niche is, like we're talking about like highly skilled blue collar workers. If you have a pipeline that brings in talent constantly, that's great. You're going to do great. But it's a revolving door and it's very, very difficult. And it's all the worst parts of business too, which is that you're managing people who feel like they're being taken for granted for the most part, because you can't, in a lot of cases, justify paying an HVAC tech like $500,000 a year, yet they're the backbone and heartblood of the company. So like, good luck. Like, I do not recommend that as your first business to getting to $1 million at all. Next, how about software or an app, like going coding tech and like creating a SaaS, let's say software as a service? I would put this one as, what's the lowest when we're doing these S here? Is that DF? We call this D. Yeah, we're going to call this a D. This is a terrible way to make your first $1 million. Terrible way. If you want to build $1 billion or 500 million, then fine. Like, and that's an important distinction, is that some of these businesses I'm going to list are better if you're trying to stay small versus if you want to build something big with a ton of equity value. What I'm talking about here is like a cash flowing business, more of a lifestyle thing that's kicking off high cash flow, high margins that you can like personally put $1 million into the bank. That's what we're going for here. And I'm telling you, a software app, that's not the way to do it. You're going to be grinding. You're going to be working really hard on this thing, and it's going to take a long time to get traction. And usually when it comes to software and apps, it's like winner takes all scenarios. And so if you don't have an idea that can like meaningfully change the market dynamics, I wouldn't even touch this. Just honestly, if you wanted to go software app tech world, just go get a job at a tech startup. Go work for somebody else that already has a little bit of traction, get some stock options. That'll probably get you to $1 million pretty damn fast. But don't start your own. Okay, next one. What do we got here? Manufacturing. Do not get into manufacturing. This is F tier. The good God. This is what we did back in 2017 with Escape. We built a manufacturing company into e-commerce, kind of combined those two. The e-commerce part was great. The manufacturing, good freaking Lord, hardest thing in the world. It requires a tremendous amount of capital to get it off the ground. Stay away from this thing. We somehow managed to get through and build this thing, but like I was having lunch with my business partner the other day, and we were kind of like a little bit PTSD'd. Like we're sitting there like, man, I can't believe we made this work, because honestly, this is like playing on hard mode. This is like playing on nightmare mode. Do not recommend this for your first business. How about this? Agency. Okay, next one. Agency, like a marketing agency, maybe an SMMA or like a social media marketing agency. I'm going to put this as A tier. Yeah, A tier is really powerful. It's really good. Maybe even S tier, because The thing with an agency is you could start it right now. If you have a skill that you've spent years developing, you're an accountant, you're a great digital marketer, like you've worked for other people, you could take that skill right now, go find people to serve with that skill and be making money almost instantly. It's at a very high margin. You don't need to have a team for fulfillment in the beginning, so you can get to your first 100K really, really quickly. Then use that because you don't have a lot of overhead. You don't have an office. You don't need fancy tech or anything like that. You can then start hiring people for the fulfillment. You can start spending into it to grow. It's like you can get to 1 million really freaking fast if you know how to build the funnel and the systems to get attention, drive that attention, and then convert that attention. You can do that stuff, like, man, you're going to grow really, really fast. So big fan of agency. How about real estate? Real estate, man, this is an interesting one. How do I feel about real estate? The problem initially is that there's so many different types of real estate. And so you could be talking about buy and hold. You could be talking about fix and flip. You could be talking about wholesaling. You could be talking about multifamily. There's so many different variables. So let me just talk about it from a broad perspective. I'm going to put this as S tier. It is more millionaires have been made through real estate than any other investment vehicle. Real estate is just so it has so many things going for it. If you can buy a good building in a good area, even if it's not cash flowing, which means that it's bringing in more income than it's losing, even if you could just hold it at break even, it's likely to make money for you if you hold it on a long enough time frame, because you have the debt pay down, right? You have a mortgage on that, so you can buy it with leverage, and part of the cash flow that is coming through that's at break even, that's just going to paying down the loan, which you get to realize in the future when you sell the asset. Then there's also the appreciation markets. Just like naturally the land isn't getting any more abundant, so like we're competing more and more for the same amount of space. Buildings get more valuable over time. Like you got the tax benefits, and so there's just like all of these really good reasons why real estate makes people rich. The problem with it, obviously, is it usually requires a lot of capital. But if you can learn how to partner with people that have the capital, and then you put in the boots on the ground sweat equity, you can get to 1 million like in the blink of an eye. Then again, it's also the riskiest, I would say, because you're using leverage, you're using debt, you're using equity systems. And if you don't know how to do that stuff, like you can get burned really, really badly. So I put it at S tier, but you know, you gotta be careful with that one. So I would highly recommend, if you're just trying to get into real estate, you start small with like little fix and flips, wholesaling. You can make a lot of money that way and learn the systems without having to expose yourself to a tremendous amount of downside. So very, very powerful. Next is restaurants or gyms. We're going to put these into the same category of kind of like brick and mortar businesses. Restaurants are terrible. Stay the fuck away. They have zero margins. It's a headache. You're dealing again with low value, like low wage employees. I mean, I worked as a server. I've worked as a bartender. I sucked to work with. I tell you right, that I was like the worst kind of employee. And that's all you're going to get in a restaurant, is that just like on loop constantly. It's the worst. Same with a gym. Like the people that are attracted to working at a gym, 22-year-old guys that want to pick up girls and they're obsessed with working out, like not the most reliable people in the world. You have a lot of overhead in that you have a physical location. And you're capped. Like at the end of the day, the problem that I have with brick and mortar businesses is that you're inherently capped. Like you can only put so many people into a gym at a time, only so many people into a restaurant. And so if we take the lesson from Jeff Bezos, who said like in business, you know, you have these truncated return systems, or you don't have these truncated returns like you do in baseball, where if you were to step up to the plate in baseball, the most you can score on any one swing of the bat is 4 runs. But in business, sometimes you can swing the bat and you get 10,000 runs. But you can't do that in a restaurant. You can't do that in a gym. There, it's like you know exactly what your upper limit is, and I do not recommend building any business that has an inherent upper ceiling beyond just, hey, can we put more people on this? Can we put more tech on this? Can we throw more capital at it? At a restaurant, like it can only get so big. The floor plan can only get so big. So like, don't love that. Next, wholesaling. Wholesaling is more or less dead, I would say, as it was popular in like the 2015, 2016, 2017. Amazon made us a lot of money, honestly, at Escape. We kind of were wholesalers in a way, drop shippers rather. I think drop shipping is what we mean when we're saying wholesaling here. So being a drop shipper, I think that business model is just so not interesting. You can make money with it, but it really becomes about your arbitrage between your ability to find a great product with a reliable distributor or supplier, and then being able to spend into it with ads. So you learn a lot of the nuts and bolts of building business, which is great. But the opportunity has become so saturated these days with Chinese ripoff manufacturers that are going direct to customers now through Amazon. Like, as soon as you find a product that has any remote amount of traction, you're going to get ripped off by a bunch of other copycats if you're not also copycatting them, right? Like, it's just a game of like everybody, it's just the snake eating its own tail. Like, sure, you can make money in it, but like how you make your money matters more than like how much money you make. And honestly, like, drop shipping, kind of a terrible way to make money. So I'm going to put that as let's put that as D tier. Yeah, put that low. All right, next we have information products. Like coaching. If you're an online expert, you have some domain experience, and you're packaging it into a course, a digital product of some sort. I'm gonna put that as A tier. Well, yeah, let's put it as A tier. You can make a ton of money if you have great domain experience selling information. Actually, let's put it as S tier, because if you were just to like make one slight pivot and not just sell courses, because courses are great, but the problem is you either need to have the ability to generate a lot of organic traffic or the ability to drive ads profitably. And if you're selling just a course or a digital product at say $100 or even $1,000, you got to do a lot of volume to get to $1 million. But if you were to pair that information product with some kind of then coaching, consulting business that like ties into that, so now you could be doing one-on-one or consulting, group coaching, charging 10,000, 15, 100,000, right? Like, depending on how valuable the skill is that you're doing, you can get to $1 million really freaking quick. And actually, that might be like one of the quickest ways that you could possibly do it. So, well, we're gonna put that as S tier, and no, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to put information as A tier. The next one that I just looked at the list here is services, productized services. That's going to be the S tier, because the productized service is effectively what I'm talking about, taking the information product and then adding on the coaching, the consulting, or some kind of like prepackaged, here's what you get, kind of like a pseudo agency in a way, but saying, we're going to come in, we're going to audit your financials, you're going to get this report, blah, 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 and we're going to then help you implement it, right? Having that higher ticket product offering that you can package on top of the information, that gets you to $1 million incredibly quickly. So what I'm going to do is say information is A tier, services is A tier, but if you can blend information with services, that's S tier. And that right there, honestly, forget the real estate, do that. If you want to get to $1 million fast, information into services, you can't not make money. So let me know down in the comments, what do you, I got one more here. Oh, I almost forgot the most important one. AI. Yeah, AI. Okay, so it's fair to have this one distinct from software and tech right now, because I don't think AI as a tech solution is what you want to do. I don't think you want to go build like a SaaS for AI. What I think you want to do is go be an AI implementer. Find a unique use case for AI and then turn it into a productized service. Remember how I said information services, how those two are an S tier? If you take information services with AI and combine all those three, that's like S plus tier. That's like as godly as it gets right now. Like, people will just throw money at you. You could get to 10 million. That's the fastest way to both $1 million and 10 million. It's crazy. That's like the golden bullet. Like, if you were playing GoldenEye back in like 98 with like your, when we were playing N64 with the rumble packs and stuff, this is like having Odd Job. You have Odd Job. You have such, like, you're everybody else is playing with Jaws and you're Odd Job running around just like murking people. Like, that is as good as it gets. AI plus information plus services, do that. All right. So now let me know down in the comments, which ones do you agree with? Which ones do you disagree with? Which have you tried? Which ones have worked? Which ones have failed? Let me know down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button as you scroll down, and I'll see you guys in the next video.